Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 8 of the Filmtastic 4. It's been a while, but hey, it's better late than never. Here we are, same old cast Khalil, Caleb, Sean, and myself. How we been doing, guys? It's been a minute.
It
It
has.
has, yeah. It's a new year though, starting off strong.
Happy
Yep.
New
hmm
Year's, everyone.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year's.
As you see, we already got a new background.
Mhm.
New year, new us
Yeah.
for real. But it's a new month. What have you guys been watching so far this month?
So, this month, since the last time we talked, I've watched not a lot of films. I think I've watched like seven. I went to see Wonka,
hmm
and I watched The Talented Mr. Ripley before watching Saltburn. So, I watched those back to back, which was really good. And then since I was back in Lebanon for the vacation, I watched four Lebanese films. And one of my resolutions for this year is to watch more Lebanese films and talk about them more. So I watched a film called Costa Brava, Lebanon. I watched a film called Uhalla Lawain in Arabic, which means where do we go now? I watched a film called Falafel, and I watched a film called Caramel. Those four are four of the best Lebanese films ever made, and you guys should watch them.
Yeah, I know you
Definitely
put up the
will.
video on TikTok. I
hmm
need to watch that one. I've heard good things about that one as well.
hmm Caleb, how about you?
Yeah, so I was really particular about my first movie of 2024. Last year was Top Gun Maverick. This year,
hmm
I didn't really know what to watch, so I just decided to watch, in my opinion, one of the best New Year's movies, When Harry Met Sally. I was just in for, a good hour and a half time that I would share some laughs, get a little emotional, and that film definitely does it for me. Um, then some newer releases. I watched Boy and the Heron about two
Just
weeks ago.
I saw your review.
Um, yeah, it was really good. First Miyazaki film, period, not just in the cinema, but I'm glad I was able to see that on the big screen. Continuing Harry Potter with Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire. Got some 2023 releases in. I said Boy and the Heron, then rewatched Iron Claw. Watched Ferrari, Society of the Snow, all really good. Um, then a couple days ago, I watched Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade with some streaming things, patrons. Shout out to streaming things. And then last night, because Cinema Joe and Sydney dropped an episode on Cloverfield, I decided to rewatch that. And in my opinion, it's the best found footage movie ever made. That's just me. I think it's great. It has the found footage like the way that it's shaky cam and stuff, and
Yeah,
hmm
actually,
but it's just the quality of the way that Matt Reeves makes it look is like just really good.
yeah, I was about to say it was Matt Reeves that directed that. Actually, that was one of his earlier ones as well.
hmm And
hmm
probably my second favorite of his. I don't remember a ton of the Planet of the Apes trilogy, so I'm gonna rewatch those before the newest one comes out.
Let me
Yeah,
guess what your favorite one is.
Oh, I wonder what it is. But yeah, no, shout out to Matt Reeves. I'm excited to see what he does after the Batman. Because
yeah,
I remember Planet of the Apes being really good. Cloverfield maybe is most slept on now that not a ton of people talk about anymore.
Definitely agree.
But deserves a lot of respect. But yeah, that's my movie watching.
Sean?
yeah. So I started off the year pretty well. Like Caleb, I wanted to choose a good one to start the year off, so I watched The Silence of the Lambs for the first time.
Hmm.
One of the easiest 5 stars you could give.
Hmm.
Anthony Hopkins just stole every bit of screen time he had, even though what is it, 15 minutes of screen
Yeah,
time he had?
15, 16
It
minutes. Yeah.
feels it
Something like that.
feels longer. It feels a lot longer when he just his presence is insane. That was great. Then my girlfriend made me watch The Notebook. I was not a fan. Was not a fan of that. That movie pissed me off. I watched Promising Young Woman. I love Saltburn, so I decided to watch that. I actually really enjoyed that as well. Carrie Mulligan was great in that. And then I ticked off more films from this year. So I watched Society of the Snow, which I loved. The big surprise, to be honest, that came out of nowhere. Another great 2023 release. Then this week so far, I've seen The Boys in the Boat, and today I saw The Beekeeper. Both of them, they weren't great. I thought both were good movies. They were grand. I had fun with them. Like, they were entertaining, nothing special, but they were decent. And then tomorrow I'm going to see Poor Things. I was supposed to see it earlier on this week, but I cannot wait to finally get that off the watch list. I've been waiting for ages.
Hell yeah, man.
And then at the end of the month, I'm going to see The Iron Claw as well. So I've been waiting a long time, and I can't wait to watch them.
Dude, oh my god.
I know.
Did you see it, Jalen?
I did. It was my fourth favorite of 2023.
Hey, mine too.
That was a real good movie right there.
Yeah,
Dude, it's so good, man.
I'm so pissed off. Why do they have to release it so later over here?
Wasn't that a part of that and Poor Things that video did? You
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
I feel you. I feel
it
you.
is.
Yeah.
The same boat.
I mean, we feel that way sometimes too. It just depends on the film. Like, obviously, if it's international, but
It's quite rare
sometimes
though for you
sometimes
guys.
it'll be that like we got Saltburn Lane, we got a couple other ones. Like I got
Yeah.
Poor Things pretty late too. I mean, you are getting it later, but you know, it took
I
me a
didn't,
while
I
to.
didn't even get Saltburn in the theaters.
Oh wow!
Really?
Crazy.
So you had to wait to Amazon.
Hey, you got Ferrari for all of us.
True.
Wait, you
But
missed it.
as I missed it. I think I have it like the worst between all of you guys.
Yeah, I feel like.
That's okay.
That's one of the reasons I haven't been watching. Like, I haven't seen as many 2023 releases as you guys.
Yeah.
I'm
They're doing you dirty.
So that's when it is pretty good for, or so how does that work with streaming though? Will you sometimes get it on streamers before it comes out in the cinema for you?
So that's how I saw Saltburn. It
Okay.
was on Prime.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on the movie.
That's one good thing about some of them. You know, some of them I'm like on the fence about going to see, and then I'm like, I'm pretty sure that'll be on a streamer in about a couple weeks.
Yeah.
If you don't think it's going to be great as well, you're like,
Yeah, like Five Nights at Freddy's. I was like,
Night Swim.
this is a Peacock movie. This is not a take a
No.
trip to the cinema movie.
Five Nights at Freddy's is an illegal streaming type of movie.
Oh,
Yeah, that bootleg.
that's why I'm waiting on Night Swim to hit streaming because all the reviews were
Yeah, I'm not going to see that. I want my first 2024 movie to be one that's meaningful.
Yeah,
like
I want
one
it
I
to be a
care.
banger.
What's the next? Like, there's the one that's supposed to be very good. That's supposed to come out with. Like, is there? Because I know the
only
ones
one
I've
that
seen.
comes to mind
Maybe.
is March 1st, and that's Dune 2. But I don't know what comes out before that.
I mean, Book of
That's
Clarence
gonna
comes
look.
out tomorrow. I look forward to that one.
That might be good.
Let's check the AMC app.
Lake East Stanfield.
Yeah, I'm interested to see just.
March we start off with bangers though, because we get Dune 2, and then there's another movie that comes out in March, and then 2 days before my birthday, The Fall Guy comes out, David Leitch's new film. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, Argyle hopefully should be good.
Oh, okay.
I know, dude. I know a lot of people are dogging on the trailer, which I have seen the trailer probably like 20 times now. But I'm like, I trust Matthew Vaughn. It just looks fun, you know.
Yep.
It looks like Kingsman, but a little more, probably bigger budget and a little bigger pop stars and everything, you know. I mean, Dua Lipa in there.
Yep.
But every time I see Dua Lipa at the beginning of that trailer, I'm like, whew.
Yeah, no, January doesn't seem to have much.
Yeah, not really.
It's the month where movies go to die.
Yeah.
Just here, take it.
Very rare though. I think last year we actually had a good January. I couldn't tell you what came out, but I do remember a couple of film talkers like, was January actually good this year? So it just depends, I guess.
Yeah. But we already know one of the best movies of the year is coming out in February, actually.
Yeah. Man, that looks bad. I don't even know if I'll take a trip to that. Like,
I don't think I've kind of given up on the ones that are going to be like mediocre. And I'm not bothering.
All the
watching
Sony
anymore.
movies just.
I just don't care anymore.
This
No, I
is. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy the Venom movies to a certain extent, but
I
that right
yeah, but
there, I know my limits.
yeah, like I enjoyed them as well, but just
I think the
for
second one has good moments, but it just could have been so much better. And there really were things that were cringe, and we should have got more Carnage. Like, if you're gonna have
Mhm.
Carnage in the name, why are we not getting more Carnage? You know, but
They'll
Carnage looked cool though.
hopefully learn. Hopefully they'll learn. I,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
but
look for the biggest screen available to watch Sydney Sweeney in that movie. Honestly,
Oh, okay. So March 1st, we're gonna get Dune 2, and then March 8th, the next week, we get Kung Fu Panda 4. So that'd be a
Ooh,
good 2 weeks in a row.
cinema. But speaking of cinema, I started off well this month already at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movies. Some slight, some slight. I started off the year with the holdovers. On New Year's Eve, I actually watched Saltburn and the Iron Claw, so that was a good way to end the year.
Hmm.
Started off with the holdovers. Then I watched a documentary called BS High. I don't know if you guys know about the Bishop Sycamore football scandal, but
Yeah, I've heard of that.
it was a fake high school that was playing with all these other high schools. Kids are like, they're not even kids. Like some of them are 20 playing against 15, 16-year-olds. And they were like just going through acting like, hey, we're actually a high school. Little do you know, kids are
fucking
sleeping in
hell.
hotels. Kids are having to steal food from Walmart because the coach isn't feeding them. Like he was scamming everybody. He got PPP loans in their name to fund the stuff. It was crazy. The dude, and it's crazy. The dude didn't get locked up yet because he hasn't been found guilty of nothing. Technically,
Jesus.
That's crazy.
crazy story. But then I watched 1001. Pretty good movie right there. Tiana Taylor did her thing with that.
Hmm.
Last Friday, I watched Anatomy of a Fall. Great movie right there. I think courtroom dramas are my thing now because I was invested.
And that's one of the best, man. Oh my god, dude.
yeah,
I just I really hope, like, because Khalil, you gave it a 4. I hope hopefully in a rewatch you'd give it a little higher. 'Cause I
yeah.
remember I gave Sean a little crap. I was like a 4, and you're like, that's a good rating, which it is. I know. It's just a movie like that when I have it at a 5 stars and I see it at 4, I'm like,
And this
no,
is
like
peak.
Yeah. I want to rewatch it as well. I
it's
want to
just
rewatch it too.
yeah, courtroom dramas are definitely anytime I watch one and it's done well, I'm always invested. And that one
Mhm.
was so like the defense made me hate him, because it was just
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Oh, he's
because
so
because we know, I mean, I guess we don't know, but I'd like to say that she was innocent because
yeah,
Justine
yeah.
Trier is not writing that movie to make her look like she's
Look
guilty.
bad. Yeah.
yeah.
And it's kind of a persecution on women,
Mm,
like we should be believing her, even though she was the only one in the house. It's like, but then it comes down to that kid getting it, or
yeah.
spoilers, I guess, but the kid, kind of skewing the story. So I don't know.
And
It's
then
just
he
really good.
and he still tries to find some fallacy in what the kid said. Like, bro,
I
I
know.
get it's your
Yeah.
job. It's your job and all, but let's calm down. That kid poured his heart out. He's like, well, this doesn't even count if you want to be real. But I also watched Fool's Paradise, which is Charlie Day's directorial debut.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of Charlie Day. I also finished Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Sadly, the movie was not that good. All the reviews were right. It definitely could have been better. But let's see what he does if he gets a second chance, hopefully. Then I watched Die Hard on 4K. I haven't seen that since the beginning of COVID,
Nice.
and that was pretty good. And I'm here
Banger.
to say Die Hard is indeed a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
You don't have to necessarily watch it on Christmas, but it is Christmas themed.
Mhm.
Then I watched Ocean's 12. Kind of disappointed. The fall off
Really?
was it was cool, but it was kind of I don't know compared to 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a
well,
11.
11,
big
11's like peak high
Yeah.
school.
It's
it's a
not gonna
big
get. Yeah.
downfall in my opinion. But I don't know. I was also a little tired, so maybe I was kind of like, man, forget this
Mhm.
movie.
Bro,
Then
but that
13's getting
that
slow.
laser dance scene though,
Yes,
the Night
that
Fox,
Mhm.
goated scene.
now that I can agree with. And then Monday I watched Poor Things, and I liked it a lot more than I expected. I did not. I took a while watching it because I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna be my thing, but
Yeah.
it was pretty good. And then last night I started watching Chevalier randomly. I didn't even intend to watch it last night. I'm like, I accidentally clicked it. I'm like, might as well stay. Because it started off with a music battle. I'm like, oh, we getting in.
Yeah, that was one that kind of slipped. I mean, I saw the trailer a lot, and I was like, it looks like it could be good, and then I just kind of forgot about it.
Same. I'm like, that looks cool. But so does everything else that I'm trying to watch.
Yeah. No, I'm really glad to see that you gave Poor Things a 4 because I gave it 2. I don't like feeling like the only one because
Hmm.
I love Yorgos, but I've only seen 2 of his films, and that was the third one I saw. And it's just in the middle, man. Like I
You
get,
gave it. What did you give it? You gave it 4 stars as well.
I
Did you?
gave it a 4.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I've only seen 2 of his as well. The Killing of the Sacred Deer and The Lobster. So
I've seen The Lobster. That's it.
both of
yeah,
those are 4.5s, close to 5s.
I gave Killing of the Sacred Deer 4, and then I gave The Lobster 3.5. I think.
I gave The Lobster a 1.5.
So yeah, so I don't know
Yeah.
how you're gonna feel about Poor Things then.
You weren't a fan of The Lobster yet? I didn't know.
I also watched it early on in my movie watching journey, so I gotta give it another
It's
chance.
definitely very
It's
different.
probably one you should rewatch. Even though I loved it, it's one I need to rewatch because the concept is just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why I watched it there. I was like, that concept is fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
But this Poor Things, not necessarily a warning, but just know,
Don't watch it with your parents.
yeah.
Like
I
I
wasn't planning
came
on
and
doing
sat in
it.
the theater, and there was an older couple next to me, and I was just like, they don't know what they're in for. They don't. They're about to get land the most.
And at first, while watching, I'm like, okay, it's just gonna be one scene. Nah, it's the whole movie, pretty much.
Yeah, and,
I don't
and
want to
that's
give it
what-
away.
And that's what kind of took me out of it. Is a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's integral," which a lot of it is. I get it, but then at a certain point, like after the 5th time, I'm like, "This is too much." Like this is not what I'm here for, And
We're
I
keeping
think
it very
that's
vague.
I think that's really what took me out of it, and like I started to kind of fall asleep a little bit. Like I was just like, again, like I don't know, but it was still really good. I mean, people are right. Mark Ruffalo, maybe my favorite Mark Ruffalo. Like, really.
Mark
damn good.
Ruffalo has a massive hate. It has a lot of haters though. A lot of people aren't fans of him like at all. Like like I've heard people that just hate him in every single thing he's in. Like some people think he's a terrible actor, and I think
They only,
that's a bit.
they only
it's
say
a
that
bit
because
harsh.
they didn't like.
I don't.
the
I don't.
Hulk.
Yeah, dude. I mean, he's good in
But
Zodiac. He's good.
yeah,
in-
but I think he's good in Shutter Island as well and Spotlight as
Yeah.
well. So
yeah,
Zodiac.
he's also good in Collateral. He's really young in that. Yeah, so he's a good actor. I mean, they're just haters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't want to spoil nothing for y'all with Poor Things, but
Thanks.
let's get into some new things, a new topic. 2023 is now over. We're in a whole new year, but we got to live in the past just a little bit, just a tad bit, because 2023, 5 surprises of the year. I want to hear from y'all because we all have different lists. Our lists are drastically different.
yeah,
We are here on a movie podcast, so let's talk about the movies. My number one biggest surprise of the year is Gran Turismo. I'm like, who wants to watch this?
yeah.
And then I watched it. I do. Yeah, exactly. It was like surprisingly good. Like I'm like, this is like grab my face and watching it all for a movie that's like a little bit over 2 hours. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
4 stars. Surprisingly,
me too. And definitely the movie I watched on streaming this year, I was like, I should have saw it on the big screen. I messed up.
yes. My expectations for the movie were like, this is the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
Right there. I was like, this ain't gonna be nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Prove me wrong.
And it's a little formulaic, but it's based on a true story. They're gonna have to have those points that we've seen before. But I thought it was executed well, and David Harbour and the main guy Archie Medique were really good in it.
Yes, and then seeing him in Saltburn, maybe he's gonna be a next up star. Maybe I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, that's him in it. I didn't cop on that there.
And I
Midsommar.
was listening. Yeah, Midsummer. I was like, I heard of someone in a podcast that he was a part of that couple that left
Yeah,
and they were like, "Where'd they go?"
Oh
figured that out.
shit!
Yeah,
Yeah, and I was like, "That's that guy." Whoa. So yeah, he's on the
Oh,
come
I
up.
didn't realize that.
makes sense.
Yeah, I never got around to watching Gran Turismo, but
Yeah, me
based
too.
on what you guys said, it seemed to be a pretty
Mhm.
pretty decent one.
Mm-hmm.
Got to watch it, Sean.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Khalil, what's your number one
Yeah.
biggest
So
surprise?
my number one big surprise was The Flash. Over the past couple of years, I've been getting a lot of comic book and superhero movie fatigue, and I basically gave up on the DCEU.
Yeah.
But The Flash was surprisingly very good compared to my expectations, obviously. I know the CGI wasn't the best in some of the scenes, but if you overlook that, I think it's a pretty decent film. It's still a pretty good film to reboot
Mm-hmm.
the whole DCU.
I agree. I
Yes.
thought I had a really fun time with that.
Lot better than
Overhated for sure.
Yes, I have it in my top 20. In all
I have it
honesty,
in my top 11 now. Yeah,
and I see somebody in your comments like, "You got it that high?
yeah, top
You
10. I
just
was like,
don't
yes,
get
I
it.
do.
You just don't get it."
Y'all have it a lot higher than me, but you're not gonna hear any hate from me. I mean, I enjoyed it a lot, and I also gave it some grace because of all the reshoots, all the drama with Miller, and probably same thing with Marvel. The uh, VFX makers are probably not getting paid enough, probably
Yeah, they're getting
underflying.
rushed as well. Yeah,
So there was a lot of things in there that's give them a little bit of grace if that's like the main issue, but the story itself and like the execution was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. But Khalil, what's your top surprise? Not Khalil, Caleb. And I was looking dead at Caleb too.
Okay, so my number one surprise is Godzilla -1.
yeah,
Just
Mhm.
we talk about superhero fatigue. I was on a pretty much a Godzilla King Kong fatigue where I was just like,
yeah,
these are not that good. These are okay. And when I saw that, especially the fact that I saw that people were talking about that, and then shortly after we get the trailer for King Kong versus Godzilla or King Kong and Godzilla, and I was like,
yeah,
what is going on? Like it's just this like, and we were getting that monster show on Apple
Yeah,
TV Plus.
instead
So
of
I'm
just
just like,
throwing it, Godzilla.
yeah, I'm like, I'm not, I don't care. And then I was like, you know what? I've been hearing so many people about -1. It's a Japanese movie, so I think that will probably make it much better. And it was just end up being one of the best theater experiences of my life, and like easily the best
yeah,
Godzilla movie I've ever seen. And where I came out of
yeah.
it, like I don't want to watch another American Godzilla movie again.
Ever. Yeah,
I don't need
that.
it, so you can keep it.
Yeah. It kind of came out of nowhere as well. Like I know, like for release wise, like I know people were talking about it. Like I'd seen maybe a few trailers that were popping up, but like I never thought it was going to be one of like top 10, top
Yeah.
5 of the year, and it was easily that's my second favorite film of the year. So
Mm.
yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere, but really surprising as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Was that on your list at all?
Yeah, that was. I was gonna say that was gonna be my number one as well, but I'll just list the one below that. So the one that I watched this year actually. Like I don't know where it came out in 20. It's listed as a 2023 movie. Society of the Snow. It's a crazy true story, but I loved it. Even though like it was a long enough film, but that again came out of nowhere. Another great 2023 release. I would have if I was in that situation, that I would have been gone in
I would
the
have folded.
first. But yeah, I would have folded instantly. I'd be like, "You leave me here, let me die." Like it is insane. And just when you think you're like, okay, it's looking up, it does another bad event happens. I'm like, oh my god, like,
Bro, when they're
Jesus.
all just chilling under the blankets
Yeah,
in
I
the
know.
plane, and I was
They're
like,
all laughing and
no.
all. I was like, oh my
I was like,
god.
you know what?
See,
This is not bad.
I need to watch that tonight. Now I'm watching that tonight.
Yeah,
Dude, it's
dude.
it's a depressing movie, man.
It
Like
is. It's sad,
I
and
wouldn't
it's
say it's quite up there with Iron Claw, but it definitely made me tear up a couple times.
no, yeah. It's a devastating watch, but yeah, that's probably my surprising because I give that 5 stars actually. I know a lot of people have around 4.5. I give it 5 stars. That's my third favorite, or not my third. It's fourth or fifth.
Gotta see what's
But
up.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go my next my surprising of the year. Um, I'll go with the holdovers. Now it did come out in the US before here, but I was hearing good things. But I was only hearing maybe from one or two people that was like, "Oh, it's my most anticipated." But other than that, I hadn't heard much about it, and I wasn't because I didn't even really know much about it at all. Um, but it's easily now not only one of my favorite films from this year, but one of my favorite Christmas films. It's one of the best Christmas films. The acting performances are amazing, and I'm really glad to see that. Two of them won Golden Globe Awards, Paul Giamatti and Davine Joy Randolph, very well deserved. Dominic Sessa is being a bit not snubbed. Well, you could say he's being snubbed. He's not being in as much of discussion, but I love the movie. It's a great Christmas movie, and it's a great movie overall.
Mm-hmm.
Great coming of age one as well.
Peanut should work for their marketing department.
Who
Yeah.
should?
You should work for the movie's marketing department. I think you're the number one fan of the holdovers.
I am a big fan of it. I
Yeah,
love that
you're
movie.
probably a bigger fan.
Say it.
But I also was able to rewatch it, so definitely rewatching it was just like, yeah, I love this. Like Paul Giamatti is my second favorite performance besides Killian of this year.
Yeah.
Favorite character of the year too. Um, so my second one is going to be Anatomy of a Fall. One that I had kind of been hearing a couple people talk about, but it was a French film, and I had heard that it was going to be nominated for Best International Film, or it was in talks for that. Obviously,
Yeah.
nominations hadn't come out yet a couple months ago, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go check this out. It's neon, and I just feel like maybe if I just go into this blind, I'll end up liking it a lot. And then I came out of it loving it, instant 5 stars. Sandra Hüller automatically became my shoe-in to win. Even though looks like Gladstone will take it, and I still really loved Greta Lee, but just performance-wise, owning the screen, I think she should win of this year. Like even though
Yeah, I
Emma Stone
agree.
was fantastic, I just feel like Sandra Hüller commands the whole movie for what is it, 2.5 hours or something. Um, so Anatomy of Fall was a big surprise, and anything that I'm going into blind, not knowing anything, and then coming out with 5 stars, it's a big surprise.
Yes, yes, indeed.
My second big surprise is going to be a surprise to you too, to you guys too as well. It's Murder Mystery 2.
Hey,
Okay.
Really?
I wasn't not expecting anything. Like the first one was fine,
yeah,
and with those like a Netflix original starring Adam Sandler with purely comedy movie, not one of the serious roles, you don't really expect much of it.
yeah.
And it's not the best movie of the year, but I still really enjoyed it much more than I
Same.
expected to enjoy it. And I actually think it is better than the first one.
Yep, I can back that opinion.
To
Okay.
me, that was a big surprise. I did not expect to like it that much, and I also did not expect it to exceed the first one for me.
Where are the murder mystery fans at, man? When I made my review, I was like, guys, believe me, it's a cool movie. One of my friends watched it, 1 star.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people gave it bad reviews.
Yeah.
I've only watched the first. Well, I can't remember. I've watched the first one. I can't remember a thing from it. So, but I never bothered watching.
I can't either. I remember them being on the plane and
Yeah.
a little bit of Jennifer Aniston on there and stuff. But I'm probably with y'all. I'd probably be on y'all's side of liking it more.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I'm a Sandler apologist. I mean, I'll call him out on like the complete garbage he's dropped, which Jack and Jill really is the only one I can think of that I don't like. And
It's not even
seeing
dumb
it,
fun. It's just dumb.
yeah, even
like.
seeing it as a kid, I was like, this is ass. Like Adam missed with this one. And then the Ridiculous Six is pretty stupid too on Netflix, but everything else I'm pretty lenient on. Even I like The Do-Over, and a lot of people hate that movie. I thought it was fun. It's just him and David Spade going
What are
stupid.
your thoughts on That's My Boy?
I have
I liked
nostalgia
that
for it.
one. I just don't remember it as much, but I remember Andy Samberg, and then obviously the
Yeah,
opening 20 minutes because
yeah.
it's hard to forget because you're like, what is going
You
on?
see
You
that
know.
you see that on TikTok like
But I
all
don't
the
really
time.
remember how the jokes are in that movie and stuff. I don't know how it ages.
I don't think it ages that well, but I still like it.
Yeah, I like
I
it as
watched it a
well.
couple of years
I
ago.
like
I
it.
feel like everybody has an Adam Sandler movie that might be rated a little lower, but they still really like. You know,
Yeah, they're always
like
like a fun time, anyways.
people hate anger management, and I love that movie. Him and Jack Nicholson are great in that. So,
Hmm.
Mr. Deeds, that's a slept on one. I don't know. Sandler's a goat. So,
Hmm. But my number two pick is Dungeons and Dragons. When I first heard about it, I was like, okay. But then I seen a trailer, not even a trailer, I seen a clip on TikTok of the graveyard scene. I don't know if y'all seen the movie,
I've never seen
but
the movie, you
I've
know.
seen it.
but it's this clip of them at a graveyard. They're trying to get something from a dead, like a skeleton.
Yeah,
And I forgot how the joke went, but by the end of it, I'm like, that was surprisingly funny. I'm actually gonna watch it now. Then the trailers actually sold me, and I was like, okay, I'm in it. And I'm hearing some people say, like I heard somebody say D&D is their number one movie of the year, and I'm seeing a lot of people say it's like in their top 10. I'm like, dang,
yeah.
it's
Hmm.
coming like that. And hey, I ain't mad at it. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
It's not in my top 10, 20, but it's
yeah,
one of
it's
the
near my probably in the 30 something range, but big surprise of the year, and it's on my list, but I'll talk about it when I get to it.
Mm-hmm. And then my number three spot, I have it at a three-way tie, which is Dumb Money, Blackberry, and Air. It surprised me by how much I liked it because I have them all at a 9 out of 10. Which I'm like, dang,
Yeah,
biopics really be coming like this. But
yeah. The
more,
year of the biopics.
yes, Air surprised me by how good it is. Blackberry surprised me because it came literally out of nowhere.
Yeah,
Barely seeing any marketing for it. The only reason I knew about it is because I believe TikTok or Instagram randomly showed it to me. And at first I'm like, this is real? And then I'm like, yeah, it is real. I made it my goal to see it because I knew it was not going to be one of the movies that you can easily find or anything. So when I got that, and then Dumb Money surprised me because I'm like, okay, a biopic of something that happened like 2 years ago,
yeah.
Yeah,
Very
we lived
recent.
through it.
and they still
Exactly.
made it very entertaining,
Exactly.
Hmm.
100%.
Yeah, a stacked ensemble cast.
like
And
stacked.
I agree with you too. Going into BlackBerry, like I'd heard a couple people say it was good. You know, all I need is a couple people I trust to be like,
Yeah.
look, you were probably not expecting this to be good at all, and it's fantastic. So I went into it, and it was just such a good time, and I think it'll be even more rewarding on a rewatch.
Yes,
And
I
Glenn
agree.
Howerton is just really good
Oh,
in that.
he's yeah,
Hmm.
amazing.
I just kept that, or never mind, never mind. I'm not gonna say anything.
All
All
right,
right,
so
or it's Khalil. That's right.
for my name's Khalil because he called you switching the name.
See, it was a brain fart.
Good joke. Okay, no one got my joke, so I'm gonna go into my third surprise, which was Rylane. I had not heard anything about this movie until you guys told me about it, until I saw your videos on TikTok. But I still went into the movie more or less blind about what it actually was. And it's one of my favorite movies of the year.
Hmm.
I loved it so much. I rewatched it twice to show it to my friends. So I
Mhm.
rewatched it. I watched it alone for the first time, then rewatched it twice with some friends. That's how much I loved it. And it's one of those movies that you don't really hear about that much. Like I
Yeah.
hadn't seen any trailers.
Yeah.
Everything I had from this movie was from TikTok, basically.
Hmm.
And I'm super glad I got to watch it and be surprised by how good it
Mhm.
was.
Unpopular
Yeah.
opinion, I think that's the best romance that came out this year.
No, it is.
Ooh,
I think it's a
Or
very
I think
popular.
I
better than
think it's
Past
I
Lives.
think no, I think it's the best rom com of this year, not the
Ooh.
best romantic film.
I have it above Past Lives, but
Ooh, hot take of the
unpopular.
day. Hot take of the day. I'm pretty
uh,
sure when I watch Past Lives, I'll back you up on that opinion. I think I'm
Yeah,
gonna like it, but I
I
think
still I
I
liked it.
I
I
just
still liked it.
if you want to have a better time and just like good vibes and stuff and more maybe relatability, then definitely go Right Lane. But just as a film, with the performances and the score and the feeling it gives you, I think Past Lives exceeds it. But they're different because that's a rom-com and
Yeah.
that's a romance movie. So
Surprisingly enough, that's why I like Past Lives. Like I know people said it was like really sad and stuff. Like it was a sad film, but like it wasn't even close to making me like cry or anything. Like people were like before it left me in tears, and I left and I was like, oh.
me and my sister look at each other and we're just distraught, and I was just like, because that was my favorite ending of the year.
I was like, oh, he got cooked.
Just
Almost.
he's a cut. Isn't that what people are calling him?
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
And I'm like, hey
Go
man,
ahead.
hey man, he was letting his woman do what she wanted to do, and she didn't step over any boundaries. I'm not saying anything. I'm not giving any spoilers.
I heard a bit about the plot.
I mean,
with
if you've seen the trailer, then you would know that.
Yeah,
I don't watch
didn't watch
anything.
it?
I don't watch any trailers for real anymore.
Yeah, me too.
I
Yeah, I
literally
don't blame
go
you.
to the
No,
theater
but-
late on purpose to not see trailers.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
stopped watching trailers like a couple of years ago.
Nowadays trailers
Okay.
are far too long. It's like bad. It gets bad. It's really bad, especially when they start releasing like trailer 3 or trailer 4.
Like
It's like,
Bobby.
See,
it's
Past
like
Lives
5
was
minutes
a
long. Like stop.
Past Lives was a trailer I saw multiple times before seeing the movie, just because
I
I
actually didn't
saw
see
it a couple
before
times in
watching it.
theaters, and I was like, "Oh, this looks so good." And then I saw it on TikTok, Twitter, and then I showed it to my sister right before we went and saw it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like we got to go see that." Because I kind of have to show my parents and people, or like my sister, like trailers sometimes,
Yeah,
because they're not like me, just going to it blind, you know.
Yeah.
you gotta sell the general audience.
Well, the next one on my list is my favorite horror movie of the year.
Lil, did you just go?
Oh shit! Sorry, that's my bad.
This inversion is really messing up my head.
Yeah,
Because you were talking about Past Lives there for a second, and it just threw me off. I was like,
yeah, I'll go really quick because we talked about it. But my number 3 is Holdovers.
Okay.
Like I said, I loved it. I'm saying it's a big surprise because who would have thought that Paul Giamatti would be one of my favorite performances of the year, and that relatively I haven't seen Divine Joy Randolph in many things, but giving easily one of the best performances of the year, and then Dominic Sessa being a I don't want to say nobody, but what's another word like?
well, it's his
Relatively
debut
unknown.
acting performance.
Yeah.
as well,
Underdog.
so-
Yeah, just relatively unknown.
Yeah.
Clearly because his debut. But just the feelings that it gave me, the soundtrack, just becoming not only one of the best movies of the year, but one of my favorite Christmas movies ever. So yeah, that's why I had to put Holdovers on there.
Okay, I'll get into it now. So my next one is going to be my favorite horror movie of the year, When Evil Lurks. It went straight to streaming. It was on Neon, I think. But it took me definitely by surprise. I did go in very blind, but I had seen that one or two people had watched it. I think on TikTok I saw one or two reviews. And I think I'll give this a watch. But it's definitely it's quite a disturbing horror movie. Definitely gory and very doesn't hold back in the gore and violence element of it, and it's it has a lot of shocking moments, but definitely one of the biggest surprises. Not as scary as some of the other horror films from this year, but definitely creepy and intense. And I really enjoyed it. It's in my top 10, or is it in my top 10? It's definitely in my top 15 of the year. Top 12 probably, but yeah, I thought that was really good, and not too many people ended up watching it either. I don't think. Did any of you guys see it?
I saw it in theaters actually.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. I remember you saw it. It was never showed in theaters around me, but yeah. What did you give it?
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
I liked
okay.
it, and I saw it before
Yeah.
all the hype came.
Yeah,
So I was like, it's a cool movie, 7 out of 10 is not a bad score. I didn't
that's
love
still,
it.
No, that's still a good one.
Some slight, but people's like 5 out of 5, 9 out of 10, best horror movie of the year. I'm a big horror guy, so I don't know. I don't know.
Did you prefer Talk to Me?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. I didn't give it 9. I gave it 4 stars, but I still like Talk to Me. I just Talk to Me a little bit, a tiny bit below that, but yeah. I've already mentioned Godzilla -1. I'll just mention that now just to get over it. We've talked about it already. The best Godzilla film there is. It's my second favorite film of the year. the main thing that, and I think everyone agrees, is that it's not just that Godzilla looks amazing with the effects and the scenes with him just destroying everything, but the depth that they've added to the characters and the
Yes.
development that makes you actually care about them is what I loved about it the most. So yeah, that's like an important part that they nailed.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
If y'all don't mind, I'm just gonna do my 4 and 5 because y'all have already mentioned them and we're
Yeah.
running lower on time. Number 4 is Dungeons and Dragons again. From the trailer, seeing it many times, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be corny. I'm not. This is gonna feel like a Fast and Furious, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Even though the dragons look pretty good from the trailer, like the CGI looked pretty good, but I was a little worried for like just I wasn't vibing a lot with the trailer, but then ended up being really good. Definitely glad I saw it in theaters and I waited till like streaming or something. And then 5, Gran Turismo. Again, said it. Probably the best movie I watched on streaming this year. And I wish I had seen it in the theaters because it was a good, not just based on a true story to film adaptation, but game adaptation. Because
Yes.
the way
Yeah.
that Neil Blomkamp kind of fuses in the way that the game feels into the scenes of him actually driving stuff is just really cool. And the performances were pretty good. So those are my 4 and 5.
All right, for my four, I have the funniest movie of the year, in my opinion, and my number 10 on my list of favorite movies of this year. I have Bottoms. I did not expect it to be this funny and this good. I literally laughed from start to finish. Yeah, basically, it's my funniest movie of the year and my number 10 of my favorite movies of the year.
Hmm.
I didn't see it being that good. It was.
That's one that I hated missing in theaters. I
Mm,
was I that was
Yeah.
it was in theaters when my car was messing up for like 2 or
Oh,
3
dang.
weeks and I didn't have it. So that was one of the ones I missed and I was like, "Man, I wanted to go watch Rachel Sennett, but it is what
They
it
were
is."
stopping from being great. But you might as well do a 5, Khalil.
Okay, so my five is actually my number one movie of the year, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Hmm.
Do I trust James Gunn? Yes. Do I like the Guardians franchise? Yes. Did I think this was going to be my favorite movie of the year? No. Did I think it was going to make me laugh and cry that much? No. I knew I was going to like it. I didn't know I was going to absolutely adore this film.
Me too.
Mhm.
Like
Mm.
and rewatching both Guardians before going into it was also good because I was like a
Yes.
refresher. Because I'm not one of those that has like Guardians 1 in my top 5 Marvel movies. Like a lot of people, I have a top 10, but not top 5. Now this is like arguably my favorite Marvel movie of all time. So or
Oh, for
MCU
real.
movie of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
See.
so in a way, yes, it was a huge surprise,
Mhm.
Mhm.
especially getting shitty MCU movies before that, or like we got Wakanda Forever, but then a
Which was
couple
good.
other things,
Yeah.
projects were not good. So going into Guardians, it was like a
Mhm.
cleanse, you know.
Yes.
Yes. But my number 4 is actually Talk to Me. I'm going to be
Mhm.
real. I did not have the highest expectations. The trailer didn't necessarily sell me. I know it was a lot of hype, mainly because of the people who made it, but I didn't
Mm.
watch them necessarily. I knew they existed, but I never watched them. Watched them. But I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
cool movie, cool concept. I'll check it out. Ended up watching it. Like, dang, might I say top 3 horror movie of the year? I say
Hmm.
yeah. A lot of people had it in
Easily.
their number 1 horror of the year, which I understand. But I don't know. Some people said it was like, oh, the scariest of the year and all that. Hey, we give props without calling it scary. And
Yeah. I was about to
I
say.
would say I would say it's frightening at moments for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, like there's
I
scary,
don't usually get
there's
scared,
scary,
so.
yeah, there's scary elements and moments in it, but I wouldn't say it's a scare, like it's a scary movie. Like I wasn't like scared or like afraid on the screen, like some other movies this year. But if I had actually a lot of funny moments in it as well, that I think that worked
Hmm.
well for it. But I wouldn't call it like a scary horror film. It's
yeah,
more creepy and shocking, definitely shocking.
yes.
Anyways, yeah.
Hmm.
But my number 5 spot is Polite Society. When that movie
Oh,
came out in theaters, I was like, I'm
Oh,
not
it
in a
was fun.
rush. not in a rush. Watch it on Peacock. I'm like, dang, maybe I should have seen this in theaters because, like, the ending. I don't want to spoil nothing for anybody listening, but like, I was genuinely like, the whole plot of this movie centers around some rich people activity. Like the movie hints at it, but when you actually hear, I really don't want to. Okay, do y'all want to know? Are y'all gonna ever
I
watch the movie?
I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
Khalil, you
I'm
want?
ready.
Okay, so the movie is about a girl trying to save her sister from a rich man. He's trying to marry her. You might as well turn your audio down. Not gonna lie. But a girl's trying to save her sister from marrying some rich dude. And the reason why this rich dude randomly wants to marry this girl is so he could, I believe, from my memory, I believe I'm saying this right, put a clone of his mother inside of her, like impregnate her with a clone of his mom. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, the ending didn't work as well for me because I thought it was a little ridiculous, but it was a fun movie though.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
insane. What?
You see glimpses of her like in a bed, like looking up at lights and like people operating on her. It's like, what is he doing? But then it's like at the wedding, they expose everything. I'm like, bruh, my jaw's on the floor.
Yeah.
I know. I was in the theater like, what is going on?
Okay.
But your face of hearing that was funny because that was my face too. I'm like, but it was cool, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They just fighting to fight, pretty much, and then boom, they lay it on you.
Yep.
But
Good fight choreography.
definitely. But with that being said, those are the surprises. Now we got to get a little bit negative, a little tad bit. Disappointments. My biggest disappointment of 2023 is a movie called God is a Bullet. And it's my biggest disappointment because it had a lot of potential. And if you guys were to watch the movie, I'm pretty sure you guys would be like, yeah, this movie could have been like a 9 out of 10 type movie if it wasn't so long. This movie is 2.5 hours.
What?
Why? It's an unknown movie. Well, I'm
Yeah,
not
I
saying
never heard of it.
unknown. It's an underrated movie, under the radar, not big budget, 2.5 hours. It is based on a book that I believe is also based on true events. But it follows a man trying to get revenge on a gang that killed his family, killed his wife, and then kidnapped his daughter, I believe. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And he infiltrates the gang. He even gets tattoos and everything to fit in. He meets up with one of the old gang members. Jamie Foxx is even in it. And he got.
It sounds like it sounds like a decent
I'm
film.
telling you, if you watch the trailer, you're like, oh, because I'm telling you, it comes hard with like brutality, action is pretty cool. It's just 2.5 hours is filled with fluff.
Yeah.
Like, we don't care. I'm sorry. Move the story forward, but let's calm down. 2.5? 2.5? But hey, it's based on a book, so I think that's why it was so long.
Yeah.
So my most disappointing movie of the year is a clear one. It's Napoleon. I went in with so many high expectations, and I had so many issues with the movie. It basically didn't make me feel anything. I expected to feel a lot more things. I expected to see a lot more, and it felt just bland and
Meh.
exactly meh is exactly how I would describe it. I went into more detail on my Letterboxd review into why I didn't like it so much and my issues with it. But I think meh is just a good description of why I didn't like it.
I get to see it.
Haven't seen either. My biggest disappointment was 65 with Adam Driver. Me and my sister were supposed to go see another movie, and we got stuck at a restaurant. We were talking, and we were like, "Oh, we don't have enough time to go there," so we went to another AMC like down the road. Checked there, 65 had just come out, so we're like, "Let's go see the new Adam Driver dinosaur movie." And this movie is an hour and a half. We were an hour in. I look over at my sister, and I'm like, "There is 30 minutes left and nothing has happened." And she's like, "There's only 30 minutes left." And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Wow." So just a slog of a movie, generally mad. That doesn't happen to me a lot in a theater. That and Cocaine Bear, just two movies where I was generally upset while being in the theater. just waiting for it to be over because it was just like, this is terrible. This is bad.
Mhm.
And I'm not one to just throw out a 1.5 or a 2 just because I don't do that. I usually don't watch bad movies unless it's a 2020 or a newer release that it's just like, okay, let's give it a shot. You know, that was just a huge disappointment where I was like, I thought this would at least be like 3.5, and I have it at a 2-star, which that could be a 1.5. I might change it because it was just not good, you know?
I want
I
to see
wouldn't.
it.
I would not waste your time. You're
Yeah,
not missing anything. If you thought Jurassic World Dominion was bad, like that's better than this, and
Oh
that says a
Christ!
lot.
Uh, I,
And that, but
That's
and
I'm
I'm
definitely
only
not
saying,
watching it now.
and I'm only saying Dominion is better just because I like some of the characters. I like Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and the older crew. But outside of that, the movie's schlock. This one is the same way, where it's just like this was just boring. Like, so was Dominion. It was just boring. Like I was just waiting for it to be over. The good thing is it's only an hour and a half. Dominion's pushing 2.5. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Um.
that's my biggest disappointment.
So my biggest disappointment of the year. This is gonna be unpopular. It's theater
Oh, I
count.
know. I knew he was gonna say it.
I know. I see this, and the main reason was it's not like I was like before it came out. I was really hyped for it, but I was hearing so many good reviews, and I was like, this is giving me like Bottoms kind of vibes. Like I enjoyed Bottoms, and I was like, it's kind of like the same kind of not genre wise. It's another like comedy kind of one, and I was like, oh, I don't mind the cast as well. So then I turned it on, and I checked how long it was on. I turned it on. And it was like 20 minutes in, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be hard to get through. I feel like I'm being really harsh, but the kids just pissed me
You are.
off.
You are, yeah.
I am being harsh.
Is that you said that's your worst movie of the year, right?
It's like my least favorite, yeah.
Okay.
Just purely based off how like it was just like so hard to get through. I was so close to turning it off, but I was like, I've turned it on. I may as well finish it. Like it's coming towards the end of the year. I need to
Molly
get more.
Gordon's on screen. You cannot turn it off.
Yeah, that's true.
When who is Molly
Um,
Gordon?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Her, I mind her, and then Jimmy Tatro and Io Devery. They saved the movie from being a half star. I'm sorry, but like I
That's
couldn't.
crazy.
I don't know. I don't know as well because I like it's weird. It was that's why I was so disappointed. I was like expecting. I was like, oh no, I wasn't expecting a 5-star movie or anything. I was like, oh, but this should be like a decent time. I got like 20 minutes in, and I don't know. I think it might have been just a bit too cheesy for me or a bit too cringe. I wasn't a huge fan of the like scripts that was being used either. Like the dialogue, I was just like, nah. Yeah, that's just me though. You know, obviously a lot of people loved it.
I mean, I could see it not being someone's thing. I
Yeah,
gave it a 3.5, and that's a low to a lot of people. But it's like I had a genuine good time with it. But it's not something that's like, oh, this is top 20 on the year or anything.
yeah, that's fair. My next most disappointed movie of the year is I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania now. When it came closer to the time, I wasn't as like hyped for it, but like when the movie was announced and like when like because it was apparently the next big like like huge like Marvel film, like it was giving kind of like hyped kind of not as hyped as Endgame, but like kind of like starting the next phase. It's like another one of the big films, and I was like, there was a bit of hype around it, and I was really looking forward to it because a lot of people were saying, oh, it was going to be the next like best MCU film. And it was going to be amazing, and I saw it, and that's my least favorite MCU film now. Like it was, I hated it. It was so bad. I tried so hard to stay awake in the movie theater. I saw it in Canada. It was one of the first movies I saw over there, and I was like, wow, what a waste of my money.
Agreed.
Crazy.
Completely agree with you.
I agree. I'll just go right into that. Quantumania was my second one.
Yeah.
At the time, I really liked Jonathan Majors, so I was excited, and I liked the first Ant-Man a lot, and I think the second one's overhated. Not perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely overhated. I enjoyed it when I saw it in theaters.
Yeah,
I haven't
same.
rewatched it, so I don't know. But going into it was just a huge. And while I was watching it, I really didn't hate Quantumania as much as other people. I was like, okay, this is not like great or anything, but it's not the worst Marvel movie or worst MCU movie I've seen.
Mhm.
Like a lot of people were saying, giving it like a half star, 1 star. But after watching Cross the Spider-Verse and Guardians, I lowered it like another half
Yeah,
because I
you
was
just
like,
realize how
"You're really not good,"
in
compared to
comparison.
these two
Yeah.
like peak superhero films that we're getting in 2023. Like, so I agree. That's my second most disappointed as well.
Well, I'll just ride the wave. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Dang, 3 for 3.
Yeah.
It was. I have no words to describe it. So,
Look,
Jalen, you can go.
I'll be real. I was excited for Quantumania. I was hype saying it. I was a tad bit disappointed, but I still enjoyed it. But I didn't like it to the extent I thought I would like it. I have it at like a 7.5 out of 10, but it's still pretty low. It's still pretty low on my whole entire list ranking.
Yeah.
So what would that be? Is that like a 3.5 on a 5-star
Yeah,
scale?
something like 3.5. Yeah,
Okay, I have it at like a 2.5, which is
Yeah,
generous.
I think I have a 1.5.
That's because there were moments I liked and I did laugh. The CGI is not good, storytelling not good, and the downplay of Kang was pretty bad. I mean, he's getting rocked by Ant-Man at the end, like Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Pretty much Paul Rudd, not even Ant-Man. He's just this is the guy that can end the world? I don't think so.
not around here. But my number 2 spot is Divinity. I'm not gonna lie, my first 4 movies, I don't even know if y'all heard of them, but Divinity, I think I might have told y'all about it the night I
Is that
watched
that
it.
really weird one you want to see? Yeah.
Yes. Steven Soderbergh was behind it. You was like, okay, you finna cook.
That's like the
know.
weirdest trailer I've ever seen.
Yeah, the movie made it seem
Yeah.
like I interpreted the movie to be some type of exhilarating acid trip. Exhilarating acid trip. You watch the movie, it's very slow, extremely slow, very slow. I made a whole video on TikTok explaining the movie top to bottom in like 7 minutes. Like every plot point, every single plot point in 7 minutes, which might be long, short, I don't know, but it's a bit disappointing. Number 3 is a movie called Nefarious. And like this is like my like if I didn't watch Rank, this probably would have been my least favorite movie of the year. Like 1.5 star. I was bored. It's a 90-minute movie. It felt like 15 hours. The concept is interesting. It's about a man who in jail. He's on what's the name? Death row. There we go. Death row. Yes, and a psychiatric doctor, some type of doctor, comes in to see is he actually insane or is he, just crazy or is he, faking it? Because he's trying to plead insanity to get out of death row. So he comes in. You said, huh?
Shutter Island.
See, I haven't seen Shutter Island, so I didn't see the comparisons in the movie. But maybe you wanted something. But he's doing the assessing, asking him questions, and the serial killer's like, by the end of this interview, you would have killed 3 people. The way he does it is kind of stupid. He doesn't kill anyone. One of the people that he kills is his unborn child because his girlfriend is getting an abortion. The serial killer is pro-life in the movie. How that make sense? You're on death row. You've done some bad things, and he's like trying to convince the guy to get his girlfriend to not do the abortion, but mind you, he planned on leaving his girlfriend, and now he's over here, baby, please, don't. I want the baby. I want to be with you now.
Oh God, that sounds
But
like
the
a
thing
terrible
is,
time.
the same studio that made Sound of Freedom made this, I believe. So it was an undercover Christian movie. It came as a horror movie, but it was secretly a Christian movie, and that's why, as a man who has seen almost 400 horror movies in his life, you can't do this to me.
Yeah, I heard a lot of like that very conspiracy filled film. Speaking of Sound of Freedom, though, I liked Sound of Freedom.
I still gotta watch it.
The movie actually moved me because I know a lot of people being a little controversial, political here. I'm not gonna dive into who it's about and stuff, but the people who try to act like that stuff doesn't happen are insane. They're in denial.
I don't know many people who act like that
all
stuff
the time.
I don't know many people who act like that stuff doesn't happen. That's why I was so surprised by. I remember this guy made a video on TikTok calling out all big creators for not like reviewing the film, and they were like, "It's not like nobody knows that this stuff is happening. Like if you don't know that trafficking is a thing that happens in the world today, you're like, you just are like living under a rock.
Blind.
It happens
Like,
everywhere in the world.
yeah, like how blind you have to be. It did have a bit of a cult kind of following behind it, like a very easy. And then the stuff that came out afterwards about the people that made it as well, I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus. I was like, talk about like,
Well,
yeah, it was,
there was only one guy that it came out about that they tried to pin that on, and all he did was he was a like executive producer, like he contributed
Nah,
towards it. So he wasn't a part of making the
it was
film.
just
So
headlines.
yeah.
yeah, it's
Apparently,
just
man,
because everybody wanted to hate on that movie.
the guy who was who it was about as well. Like, apparently he didn't do
Yeah,
anything.
I heard it was all fake.
Yeah, well, apparently he like just it was like afterwards, and he's like just taking credit. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh wow.
Just a weird kind of, I don't know. It's weird, controversial. But
Hmm.
Not gonna lie, I still wanted to check it out just to see it though. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I was gonna. Well, yeah, I never got around to it.
But oh, I forgot. I said the same people that made Sound of Freedom made this. I don't think that might be the case. The writers of God Is Not Dead wrote this movie. That's what I probably meant.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they should be writing a horror movie because
Mhm.
nah.
Yeah, fair.
But Khalil,
Yeah.
Okay, should I just go through my next three just to gain some time?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think it's a good show.
So I have Leave the World Behind. We already talked about
Yeah.
this. I'm going to quote a great friend of mine and a great author who said this: the ending of this movie is like the film version of Blue Balls. This person was Sean. Next disappointment was the new Indiana Jones film. I
Yeah, it
thought it
was.
would be a good film. Phoebe Waller-Bridges. I loved her in Fleabag.
And you have James Mangold as well,
Yeah, but it was
and
Anyway.
Mads Mikkelsen.
exactly Matt Mikkelsen, one of my favorite actors of all time. I'd say top 3 or even top 2 actors of all time, and it still couldn't save this film.
No,
From being mediocre.
mediocre.
My final disappointment is Pain Hustlers. When you see a movie directed by David Yates, although he hasn't directed anything really good outside of the Harry Potter films, but still,
Mhm.
with Evans, Emily Blunt, Andy Garcia, Jay Duplass, you'd actually think it's a decent film.
Mhm.
And I'm just gonna sum up the movie with one sentence. This song "Turned Down for What" played in
oh
this
my!
2023 film, and I think this just encapsulates what this movie is.
But doesn't it take place? Doesn't the movie take place like in 2011 or something?
No matter what it is, there's no excuse to have "Turned Down for What" in a 2023 movie. I should not have to listen to this song in 2020.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Funny to you, I was gonna have like a heart attack. I was gonna.
Oh
cry.
my
I don't know what was
God.
happening with me. I just heard the song and I just wanted to run away.
All right. I'll just rapid fire. We kind of mentioned already. I didn't. When I heard that the movie was coming out, I had pretty moderate expectations because I liked it when I was in high school. But Five Nights at Freddy's. When the reviews came out, and the trailer came out, I was like, okay, I don't know about all this. Still found some enjoyment out of it. Like, I wasn't like a 1 star like some people.
Yeah.
But definitely was just like, yeah, this wasn't. If it was rated R, it would have been much better. So there was disappointment there. I gotta go with. I like this movie, but still kind of disappointing. Missing. It was kind of a not a sequel, but kind
Yeah,
of like
it's similar. Yeah,
A spiritual
similar to
successor.
Searching. And I know a lot of people saw Missing and liked it, but they hadn't seen Searching, and I think Searching is far more superior. Just a better movie. So Missing, still a decent movie. Gave it 3.5, but still a little disappointed. Let's see what else. Yeah, really, that's all I got. I don't even need a
Yeah.
4 and a 5 because
Mm.
I didn't watch a ton of bad movies, and some of the ones that I have that are bad were not surprising, like Ghosted or Strays. Those were just
Yeah,
movies I didn't like,
exactly.
and I wasn't excited for them, So
Mhm.
I wouldn't say there were any more that were really disappointing.
Yeah, I'll just rapid fire mine off. I was gonna list Maestro, but I don't think I was that excited, like really excited for it. Like I wasn't gonna expect that. Like, I didn't like it.
A lot of
I
people didn't like it. I
I
loved
think
it
it's
though.
I like the performances. I don't like the movie.
Mm,
But I wasn't that excited, so I won't list that. But I'm gonna list the Meg too. I like the
yes.
first Meg is I actually like it's dumb, but it's actually really entertaining. Like I could see myself trying that on in the background just to rewatch something for the fun of it. Yeah, actually, the shark's actually in the movie for a decent part as well. The Meg 2, is just unbearably. It's boring first of all, and it's just so bad. The character writing is actually so when like the villains, when you just see them villains in those really badly written films, and you're just like, This is doing my head in. Like I can't stand them." Um, and for a Meg movie, it wasn't even fun. It wasn't entertaining. It just annoying. So that's my other disappointment. And then my last on the list is my last two on this list is Beau is Afraid. I loved
Mm,
Midsummer and Hereditary. This is quite different. I didn't hate it. Just was disappointed by it. And my last on that list is Scream 6. Again, I didn't hate it. Um, like that's the thing. I love the other Scream films as well, especially the first. I don't know what I didn't. I think I just didn't like some of the character decisions in it. I think some plot points annoyed me more than others, but I think I definitely need to rewatch that. But yeah, those are just my disappointed ones.
Mm.
for my number four spot, it's a movie called Malum, which is a remake of a movie called The Last Shift, where a lady police officer gets assigned to some new area as the last shift because it's closing down, but it plays with her psyche because she's connected to some murders or something from her past, and she's seeing people and seeing things, she's being tormented, and it's a remake of a movie from 10 years ago. I did not like the movie from 10 years ago. It has a cult following. It's the same director directing his same movie. So I'm like, okay, he's going to take his low budget movie, put some money in it, and re release it. I like it, especially since it's an unknown movie.
Yeah.
When the movie
No.
ended, I literally sighed. I was like, I expected more. I gave it a 5.5 out of 10. It had a lot of potential, and there's things you could take from both movies to make one perfect movie, but. And then my number five spot is the Meg 2. I thought they were going
Yeah.
to learn from their mistake, put more shark in it, put more horror, do better action,
Yeah.
be funny. No, it's
No, none of those
mildly.
things.
Both of them are mildly entertaining, in my opinion. The first one disappointed me more because I
Really,
was because I was
I enjoyed the first one a lot more.
I think I do too, but I was expecting the first one to be like, oh, this is pretty cool because I
Hmm.
was literally expecting to watch that my junior year of high school, never
Yeah.
seen it, and I was like, this looks like my type of movie.
Yeah. No.
Disappointment. Why are you a shark movie with no shark? Tell me that. Riddle me that, Batman. Why?
Yeah.
Okay, so those are our disappointing movies, but now it's time for a little debate.
Mhm.
2023 is over. 2022 has been over. But these have been 2 great years of film, and the age old debate that I'm just now making up, which is the better year of cinema? Before we go through each movie, do you guys have an answer right now?
I do.
What do you
Go
say?
ahead.
Very clearly 2022.
Mm.
And we'll get to why later on. But
Mhm.
that's my personal opinion. What about you guys?
For me, it's very close, like very close.
Mhm.
And for me, 2022 just slightly edges it out, slightly, just slightly for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say as a total year, 2022. But if we're talking about top
Top
10 on the
top hitters,
year,
yeah,
then maybe I would say I have more 5 stars this year.
yeah. I was
My
gonna say,
top 10 looks better, but as a whole, I also watched probably 20, 30 more movies last year. But as a
yeah,
whole, like
same,
I had a 4.5 all the way down to almost my 30s
Dang.
last year.
yeah.
I had a
I
lot
had
of
a,
4.5s.
I ain't
I
gonna
had a
lie.
lot,
I did too.
I had a lot of 4 stars. like you were saying, Caleb, the heavy hitters from this year, I think, are stronger than the 5-star films from this year are stronger than like the top 5 stars from last year. But I think
Yes.
overall, the quality of films, like when you compare quality and quantity, there's a lot more 4.5 from last year than there is this year. Like there's a lot of 5 stars and a 4.5 this year. But then after there's a couple of them after them to go down to like the 3 stars, 3.5. Like there's not too many in between. I feel like, anyways.
I feel like 2023 has higher highs, but
Yes.
2023
Yes.
is solid as a whole.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the middle section is much bigger than the middle
Yeah.
section of 2020.
100%.
Like within my top 10 last year, it's like my top 5 is like what I think is gold, and then this year it was like up to my top 9 was just
Yeah.
like even though those last 2 or 4.5s, they're just bangers. Like I love
Okay.
them.
But let's go through our top tens. Actually, I can start off. I ain't gonna lie. Just looking at it, I have 5 out of 5s from last year. This year I only have 2.
Ooh, okay.
My top 5 from last year: Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Top 10.
Underrated Take. Number 2, Bullet Train. Number
Hey, that's
3.
valid. I respect that. I respect that.
Number 3, The Batman. Number
Yeah.
4, Glass Onion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Number 5, Wakanda Forever. Number 6, Prey. 7, Avatar 2. 8, Puss in Boots 2.
Mm.
9,
Never got that.
Terrifier 2. It's a lot of sequels.
But not
10
Terrifier 2.
Then 10, Pearl.
Okay. I respect that. I respect that.
Okay, so number 1, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Number 2,
Yeah.
Panties of Inisherin.
Mm.
Number 3, Babylon. Number 4, The Northman. Number 5, Batman.
Yes.
Number 6, Wakanda Forever. Number 7, The Menu. Number 8, Bullet Train. Number 9, Avatar 2. And number 10, Triangle of Sadness.
Ooh.
Very good.
Um,
All right, my top 10 is number 1. I have Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Common theme.
Number 2 is Nope. Number 3 is The Batman. Number 4 is Top Gun Maverick. Number 5 is After Yang. Number 6
I
is
still need to
After
watch that.
Sun. Number 7 is On the Count of 3. Number 8,
Yes.
banger. Number 8, Banshees of Inisherin. Number 9, RRR. And number 10 is
Yes.
Tar.
Tar. I still haven't
Yeah.
watched that one.
I like
And
that you
see,
mentioned
that's the thing
on the
with last
kind
year is my last like my 11 through 15 were ones that I wish I could put at that top 10 spot. Like
Yeah.
I was just like where I was struggling. Where this year a little bit, but I was like, I feel like I have a good grasp on my top 10 this year.
I love that you mentioned on the kind of 3 in there. I was like, yeah, I saw no one else. Okay, so my number 1, like you guys, Everything Everywhere All at Once by a mile. And my number 2 is on the kind of 3. Number 3, Cha Cha Real Smooth. Number 4, Nope. Number 5, Top Gun Maverick. Number 6, The Batman. Number 7, RRR. Number 8, Barbarian. Number 9, All Quiet on the Western Front. And number 10, Bullet Train.
Give me your Irish passport right now. You're taking your citizenship away.
Banshees is at 14. There's so many 4.5 stars there.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Because there's Babylon, The Menu, Glass Onion. You know,
dude,
I have it after that. So
yeah, the next ones after that I wish I could have in my top 10. Women Talking, Decision to Leave, Babylon, Close, Bones and All, and X. Or like all like could easily be in that top 10, but it was
yeah.
just so
And
hard to
then
narrow it down.
yeah, The Northman as well. I have Watcher there as well with Micah Monroe. That was a good
Banger.
watch that year as
See,
well.
last year's way deeper. Sorry.
Yeah, it
It was
does.
so deep.
Yeah, I have some that you mentioned as well, like No Glass Onion, Top Gun Maverick, but I also want to shout out, see how they run, the Saoirse Ronan announcement.
Dude, I love that
Oh
movie,
shit,
man.
yeah.
Yes.
The
I
movie
heard
was
bad things
great.
about that at first.
They're tripping, bro.
No, that was
think of a
good.
murder
That was a good
mystery,
movie.
but Wes Anderson style.
Yeah,
Literally.
stacked cast as well.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know that meme of what's that boy Vince McMahon doing the crying cutting?
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about 2022. But I'm gonna be real. My top 10 of this, well, not this year, but 2023 compared to 2022. If I were to actually have to pick, I might pick 2022. I think I might. I might. Nah.
Hmm.
As much as I love Guardians, Scream, Spider Verse, and Transformers, and John Wick, now I'm second guessing myself naming all these movies. But I don't know.
Well,
Everything
rename your official top 10 of the year
this
For
year:
this year,
or
yeah.
2023.
Guardians 3, Scream 6, Spider Verse, Iron Claw, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, Rise of the Beast, Transformers, John Wick 4, Creed 3, Blackberry, then Air.
Nice.
Banger.
Some of those I could live without in comparison to 2022.
Yeah.
I would take Bullet Train over most of my 2023 in all honesty.
Wow.
Sheesh.
Valid.
But just for that, and also everything everywhere all at once, that was an experience. That's not just a movie. That was an experience.
But really though, like that last year and this year, number ones are the two best of the decade for me. Oppenheimer and Everything Everywhere.
There, yeah. I have
Yes.
them
It's
there
like
as well. I
peak of
agree.
the
Yeah,
decade.
100%.
But like you said this year had better heavy hitter top movies compared to
Yeah.
last year.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be real because we 2022 had Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Batman,
Mhm.
Banshees of Inisherin, Top Gun Maverick,
Nope.
Nope, Triangle of Sadness,
Hmm.
and then this year, like I said,
Yeah.
Oppenheimer, Kills of the Flower Moon. I'm looking at my list. My
Across
handwriting
the
is.
Spider Verse, Guardians
There
of the
we
Galaxy,
go. Iron Claw, Past
Godzilla minus
Lives.
one.
Anatomy of a Fall.
So
Both
it's
really
like,
good years. Yeah.
but
Khalil, you want to name yours?
Yeah, let me get to my top 10. So at 1, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. 2, I have Oppenheimer. 3, I have Across the Spider-Verse. 4, I have Killers of the Flower Moon. 5, I have Anatomy of a Fall. 6, I have Asteroid City. 7, I have John Wick 4. 8, I have Rylane. 9, I have Barbie. And 10, I have Bottoms. And just missing out, I have The Killer, Bo's Afraid, Air, Creed 3, and Mission Impossible 7.
Nice.
mm-hmm.
Nice. Mine is Oppenheimer at number 1, Past Lives at 2, Anatomy of a Fall at 3, The Iron Claw at 4, Across the Spider Verse at 5, Guardians 3 at 6, Godzilla minus 1 at 7, The Holdovers at 8, The Killer at 9, and May December at 10.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
At number 1, I have Oppenheimer. At 2, I have Godzilla minus one. At 3, I have Society of the Snow. At 4, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. At 5, I have Across the Spider Verse. 6, The Holdovers. 7, Saltburn. 8, Killers of the Flower Moon. 9, The Killer. And 10, Air.
Mm-hmm.
My
And
list is going to
Mhm.
change a bit over the next couple of weeks because I have a
Yeah,
lot.
same as I say. I haven't seen the Iron Claw. I haven't seen Poor Things.
Exactly.
And yeah,
see, that's why I
Mhm.
waited to give my official ranking of the
yeah.
year
Me too.
because
I
you
just,
never know. Something
yeah.
might sneak up.
Yeah, there was
I feel
only
like the Iron Claw will definitely sneak up.
oh for sure,
Definitely. That
Definitely,
100%.
100%.
so good, dude.
But you know,
Yeah, just it's very close because I mean, like Yara is saying, there's movies I really love. I have Asteroid City at 11, Killers at 12, Bo's Afraid at 13, then Air at 17, John Wick and Mission Impossible at 15 and 16 back to back. So leaving those out of the top 10, which they both were in my top 10 at some point, but
Yeah,
I
same.
really watched a lot of movies, and I think I have a lot of my like, oh, these are just my favorites, and then there was a couple like we're at John Wick 4 and Mission Impossible 8. You know, like I loved both of those, but I
Mhm.
feel like I didn't want too many just franchises in my which I already had enough, or I had Guardians and Spider-Man. I guess those are the only ones, and then if you want to count Godzilla minus 1, it's like a already established IP.
mm,
Um but yeah, dude, I mean this year was good, but last year it was so deep. Getting into the 4 stars cuz I said I had a bunch of 4.5.
Yeah,
Once we get in the 4 stars like you're saying, like I have I don't know, but I'm glad y'all named some ones that weren't in my top 10 like Cha Cha Real Smooth or
yeah.
um what else did y'all say?
Babylon.
Yeah, Babylon.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yes,
That's what I forgot to.
that one's in my top like 15. So
Yeah,
it's hard leaving that off.
the Menu is good as well. What else? The
Sadness.
Northman. The Northman is a good one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then like the 4 stars, I was thinking like you have Bones and all. Breaking is underrated. That's John Boyega.
I
Yeah,
That's
need to watch
very
did
that.
you watch that?
underrated. Yes.
That's a great performance. That's a true story as well. Yeah, Causeway as well. A24, Jennifer Lawrence and Brian Terry Henry. That was a good one as
Oh, I
well.
love that movie, man.
Marcel,
Pinocchio.
yeah, Marcel the Shell with Shoes
Marcel the
on.
Show.
Mm.
The Whale.
Dude, super underrated. The outfit that came out. The
Yes,
huge
that
Oh
was
shit!
very
Yeah, you're
underrated.
right. You're right.
That
13 Lives too was really good. Prey was slept on.
I
Right.
love
Yeah.
Prey. I
Prey's
don't understand the
fantastic.
hate for it. Some
I
people's
don't
like,
either.
man. In my opinion,
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
that was my top 10. That genuinely surprised me. And
Look,
I saw it before all the hype.
here's one that people hated me on last year, and I'm sorry. I had the Fablemans at 37.
Mm.
I agree. Where did I have it? I had it at 46.
Like, dude, it was good. I gave it a 4
It
stars.
was okay. I gave it
That's
three and a
not peak
half.
Spielberg, bro. Like,
Oh my god, I'm looking at the other movies here. You have Hustle, you have the Black Phone on Colleen Kuhn as well. There's so many bangers. Holy bodies,
And
bodies, bodies.
like from 40 on, I have The Black Phone, Wakanda Forever, Glass Onion, Intergalactic, Fresh, Windfall.
Yeah.
Like it was that's in your 40s, bro.
The
Like
Woman King.
even when I have Smile at 62. I mean, like it was a good year, dude.
I have Smile at 62 as well.
Hey,
I had Smile at 73 out of
I gave
80.
Smile a 3.5 because I was like, it was good. Also, one of the worst theater experiences of my life.
Dang, what happened in there?
It was just terrible, dude. Too many younger people. A kid
Mm.
next to me who was on his phone, like a little kid, and his parents just gave him like his phone with his headphones.
Oh
And then his mom
wow.
was like a bigger woman. She had to keep getting up and down. And when she would sit down, because she was next to me, she was the one next to me, she would plop down and it would move the whole thing. So I was like, what the hell is going on? And then when the movie ended, like right at the end, a girl was having like a seizure behind
Oh
us.
wow.
It was just like crazy. I was like, this is insane.
I
Like,
feel so bad for laughing.
because the ending was crazy. It probably just tweaked her out, bro. Like,
Oh, she tweaked that from that though.
That
yeah.
ending was just so weird.
That
But
ending was
see,
pretty cool, in my opinion.
but
I
see,
didn't like
since
the
I
movie though.
saw more movies last year, once we start getting into like the 90s and stuff, it starts
it's like-
getting a little but
Yeah,
still decent watches like Violent Night, Sonic 2, Fall, Lightyear, you know.
Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
the underrated movies of 2022 are better than the underrated movies of 2023 too.
Yeah,
agreed.
for sure.
100%.
I just really think last year was deeper.
I feel like this year I think it could have been a decent bit better without the strikes as well.
Mm-hmm.
It could have. Now it wouldn't. Now there wasn't as many huge. Now obviously Dune 2 is the big one. But yeah, no, I think 2022 overall as a whole year, I think we're all universally kind of agreeing that it's a better film year. But 2023 was still great, still
Yes.
a fantastic year.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like that's the only thing. That's why I'm saying I have one more 5-star this year. Like I have 7 5-stars this year, 6 last year. Or no, 5 last year, 6 this year.
I had 3 last year, and I have 5 this year.
5 this year. No, 5 last year, 2 this year.
Okay.
And what were your 2?
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and Scream 6.
Okay. Nice.
Very biased 5 out of 5 right there.
Mm-hmm.
No,
And
nice,
since
nice.
we were just talking about movies, I know I really we kind of skipped over what we wanted to talk about underrated, but I wanted to shout these out real quick. Y'all said Ryan Lane and Blackberry, so I won't mention those.
Yeah.
Very slept on, but They Clone Tyrone.
Bam.
I have that down as well. Yeah.
You Hurt My Feelings. Not a lot of people watch that.
I still
A24.
gotta
Oh
watch
shit!
that.
Yeah, you're right.
And I know Jalen didn't like it, but How to Blow Up a
How to blow
Pipeline.
up a pipeline. Yeah, I have that on my list as well.
That's my biggest sleeper on the year.
I'll shout out one that you guys you haven't mentioned. I know Jenny, you mentioned Dumb Money as well, but Infinity Pool, I feel like that's underrated as well.
That one was good.
It's a bit polarizing, but yeah, decent. And then decent year for film.
Talk about an experience seeing
Speaking
that.
of polarizing, I'm gonna mention Asteroid City in my underrated. I feel like it's overhated, which automatically makes it.
Yeah, it is overhead. Yeah, it's definitely
It's not that
polarizing
bad.
for Wes Anderson.
And then I'm going to mention Haunted Mansion.
I agree.
Are you
I
joking?
enjoyed it.
Oh
It-
God!
I
It is
enjoyed it.
overrated.
I
Nick
liked it.
Stanfield is great
You're
in
not
everything he's in.
serious.
Yeah, it was pretty good. At
Lakeith
first,
Stanfield is one of the best actors working today. Anything he touches is good. I'm not gonna say it's one of the best movies of the year.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
not.
gonna say it's a very good movie. It's a fine movie. It's just underrated. It's overhated, and we should.
I can't say like I watched the trailer now.
I
like,
can
I'm
be.
not
I can back you up
touching
on
that.
this. Look, I haven't seen the Eddie Murphy one, but I promise you, it's better than that one because that one gets trashed on.
I disagree, man. I love the first Haunted Mansion. From what I remember, that was the first movie I ever saw in theaters when I was really young.
Oh wow.
And Eddie Murphy was my guy, so I really have fond memories with that. I still need to watch the Haunted Mansion. I guess one day I'll get to it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either.
So
but,
I can't dispute you. I've
Yeah,
heard
that's the
too
thing.
many people
say that
say
it's
it's
terrible.
garbage. So
That's
Yeah.
why it is
I don't know.
underrated.
Bam.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay.
Well, that would be more so overhated than underrated.
But if it's overhated, it is underrated technically.
In a way, yeah.
Also underrated, like the Equalizer 3 went kind of underrated.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. Actually,
I completely forgot about this film.
I still need
Uh,
to watch the whole series.
you don't need to
Really?
watch it to watch that one.
Well, I would watch
one
the
is
first one at least.
The first
I
one is the best one.
Mhm.
I
I
agree.
still want to watch it as a completionist type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The time
I
when
wanna-
3 came out.
and that's
I
the
want
only Denzel trilogy he's ever did. It's
Yeah,
the only
you're
sequel he's
right.
ever done. Now
Oh
he'll,
wow.
yeah, it's the only sequel he's ever did.
Well, now he's doing Gladiator 2 though.
Yeah, Gladiator 2.
Well, he wasn't in the first one though. That's the
True.
only
Oh, you're right,
like
yeah.
movie that he was in the first one that made a second one and then went for a third.
Um,
Also, A Good
yeah.
Person with Florence Pugh went underrated. I like that movie.
yeah,
A lot.
that's right. I never watched that book.
No One Will Save You, Hulu original. Slept on.
Oh shit, yeah.
The silent movie. The second silent movie of the
Twilight.
year. But to end
Yeah.
things off real quick, I'll say some of my underrated movies, and I'll let you know how many people on Letterboxd have seen them because this is some real underrated stuff.
Yeah, your stuff we probably don't know.
First up, The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. People will be like, yeah, that's really what you want to name the movie? Hey, it makes sense in context, but it's a flip of the Frankenstein story, but it takes place in the hood of, I forgot where, but it's a hood type movie. Brother dies of gang violence. A mad scientist's sister resurrects him with electricity and all this, and now he's like Frankenstein. Only 5.9 thousand people saw it.
Jesus.
Nobody saw that. Michael J. Fox had a whole documentary this year.
Mhm.
Only 26,000 people saw it. Y'all should check it out. It's called,
I need to watch that.
I need to watch that.
it's
Yeah.
called Still.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Jackson had a whole documentary come out on Showtime. 2.5 thousand people saw it.
Hee
Thriller 40. Thriller 40 is a pretty good documentary. 1001 was a pretty good movie.
1001 was good.
Completely off guard.
But only 26,000 people saw 1001 on Letterboxd, which is little numbers in comparison to who uses that app.
Mm-hmm.
A movie called Wrath of Becky, underrated, only 15,000. An extremely underrated movie, Outlaw Johnny Black. Do you guys know Michael John White from Black Dynamite?
Yeah,
he directed a movie
right.
this year.
He
He directed a
is
Western.
he the
Oh, wow.
karate guy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He directed a Western movie called Outlaw Johnny Black. And I knew it wasn't going to get a whole bunch of praise, but only 2,000 people saw it, which is dang. But people thought it was going to be on part of Black Dynamite, and it wasn't. It was more straightforward Western, less comedy, which is I didn't like that part necessarily, but it was still good. And then my last underrated movie. Do you know the Please Don't Destroy guys from SNL?
No.
Oh. Well, they had a movie come out called Please Don't Destroy the Treasure of Foggy Mountain. You know how people swear comedy is dead and there's no more goofy comedies?
Mm-hmm.
This movie is literally that. This is the goofiness that you would want. Like, it's not the best movie, but it's like dumb humor that you would want to just turn your brain off to.
How do you find some of these movies? Because some of these movies I haven't heard of.
Yeah, I haven't heard of at all.
Yeah, the last one I just realized I've heard of it, the SNL one.
Yeah.
Just looked
Um.
it up. Yeah, I've seen things about it.
Yeah. It's a mixture of being chronically online. Like realistically, yeah, because I'm on social media a lot. I get
Okay.
advertisements a lot. I also
Yeah.
check the AMC app like every other week. Not every other
Okay.
week, every other day, in
Yeah.
all honesty. I'd be like, what's coming out? What's coming out? Let me see. I'm utilizing that subscription.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay that $25 a month. I'm gonna use it. You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Fact.
saying?
Fact.
Yeah, you gotta find the random movies and give it a chance. May not be the best, but that's how you find underrated gems.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Yeah, and I'm finally caught up. I mean, the only things I really need to go see is I want to see it just because it's an end of an era. Am I excited for it? No. I want to watch Aquaman 2.
It wasn't terrible.
Just
Terrible.
I don't think I'm gonna
yeah.
bother.
That's if I make it there. And then I want to go
Yeah.
see The Color Purple.
Yeah, that's actually I'm seeing that this month. There's a screening for that this month. That's got good reviews, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It does.
It's one of those last ones I need to see before the Oscars.
For the
Like,
Oscars, yeah.
that
it's an Oscar.
and has American Fiction already come out?
No,
No,
technically it comes out
yeah.
tomorrow. Tomorrow's the official date, but it's been out for like
Really?
a month. Yes,
There's no release date, and the Zone of Interest as well. Apparently, I thought that was
know.
releasing for you guys as well, but apparently it was just like limited, like it wasn't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But American Fiction said everywhere tomorrow. So
Okay, so
Everywhere
I need to go-
except for Ireland, and the UK, and EU.
I know, because I was like, am I gonna have to watch this on
bootleg
a
it.
streamer? Because I need to watch American Fiction. So, and I just want to see Jeffrey Wright and Sterling K. Brown's performances. And I heard it's really funny, like one of the funniest movies of the year. So
Yeah,
I'm excited for that. I'm in for a good satire. And then Zone of Interest, yes, because A24, Jonathan Glazer, definitely going to do that. But yeah, those two, Color Purple, those are like the only ones I've seen. Everything else, and then a couple of the international films. Like I need to watch Fallen Leaves. That one you watched,
yeah. Perfect Days, was it?
yeah, Perfect
Another one
Days
called
for
Perfect-
sure, because that looks really good.
Where are you supposed to watch these though? That's what I don't
I
understand.
don't know. That doesn't come out near us either.
They're forcing us to arg.
So that last week before the Oscars, if some of these didn't come out, I'm gonna be grinding them out.
Yeah, 100%. What date are the Oscars on again? Or month?
March.
Probably March,
Yeah,
March,
March
okay.
17th, 7th. I
something
remember
like that.
7 in it for some reason. I don't know.
Sucks we have to wait so long, but
Yeah.
I don't get it though.
the Golden Globes though,
I was very happy.
I went
up and
12 for
sweep.
15.
Yeah, I saw that. That was very good. I went 10 for 15, but they seem pretty accurate for most of their awards anyways. Like no major bad decisions.
The biggest surprise of the night, which I was extremely happy about, and I got it wrong for predictions, but Anatomy of a Fall winning screenplay, I was jumping for joy.
Yeah, I was like,
It's-
damn. was
I
happy
thought
for them, though.
Poor Things, Oppenheimer's.
Oppenheimer, yeah.
Yeah, I thought one of
Um,
them went in Anatomy. I was like,
Yeah, they seem
was
like
so
it seemed like very good for the awards. Anyways, the only bad thing seemed to happen was their fucking host.
my mom was laughing because she was like, "You seem to know a lot of them," because I was naming them right before their name. Even all the TV ones, I was getting all the TV ones right, and I didn't predict any of those. And it was because once I noticed, oh, it's a Succession night, it's a Bear night.
Yeah,
those are my.
it was a
picks.
success. Yeah, I was glad of it. They're the only two ones that I've seen from the TV shows as well, so I was delighted. And also The Last of Us, but I was delighted to see the Succession and the Bear and stuff. I can't believe that's Cillian Murphy, or not Cillian Murphy's, Christopher Nolan's first Golden Globe.
I know it's sad.
First,
And Paul Giamatti's.
Yeah,
he
And
should
dude,
have
I
gone for Make
loved
That
his
Liar.
speech, man. Bro went to
Yeah, it
In and Out
was great.
after. That's baller.
yeah, I see the picture of him in and out.
Imagine being
So
at In and
wholesome.
Out. Like that would be
What a
me if I lived
legend.
over there. I just got done
So
watching the
down to
Globes,
earth.
and I'm like, all right, I'm at In and Out. And then Paul Giamatti walks in. You're like, oh shit. That'd be awesome.
But yeah, this episode has been a very good episode in my opinion. Another banger, and I hope you're here listening. If you're still listening, comment 2 cheese emojis in the comment. I'm kidding. But thanks for listening. We really appreciate it. Pretty good to go through 2023. We're done now. 2024 hopefully should be good. It's not going to be as good. I already know. People are calling this year a filler year, but we shall still see.
You mean for movies?
Yeah.
We've yet to see.
Yet to see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're going to be getting a lot of franchise movies, a lot. And
Yeah.
but the good thing is some of them.
Yeah, only one.
One. That's it.
Deadpool 3. That's all that matters. To me, at least.
Which makes
Yeah.
up for
Thank
the
God.
last 10 shitty movies they released other than Wakanda Forever and Guardians.
Yeah, it's good
Yeah.
that they're putting all their all in on that
Excellent.
one
Yeah.
because
As
we'll
they
get
should.
Pete hopefully.
Sure.
But yeah, also, did you say, Jalen? Go follow us on all of our socials.
Oh, yes, of course.
Like and
Bam.
subscribe.
Bam.
And I don't know if it's gonna be next week, but y'all be looking out for a Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yes,
episode.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Expelliarmus.
We may even make a whole episode on it, like whole ranking, just a whole discussion on the movies. It'd be a good one.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll do favorite character, favorite
Draft.
performance, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
We could do a character draft as well.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a shorter, like a few less rounds, but not a bad.
I wish I
I
had
get
my
3
costumes
picks.
with me.
You say you have a
I wish I had my costumes with me. I have some wands. I have some cards, I have
You can save it for the episode.
Yes.
They're not in Italy with me. They're back in Lebanon. So
Oh, dang.
Man,
You have to order some new ones.
All of us should. But
Yeah.
like
Okay.
the handbook says, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. We are out.
peace out, guys. Y'all have a good week.
Oh my.